Ho 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 tech hoes! Welcome back once again to Tech of Tomorrow. This time we're doing an awesome build in Corsair's latest case, the Carbide 270R. Let's check that shiznick out. The Carbide Series 270R is a windowed ATX mid-tower case. Inside the box, you get the accessory kit, the warranty, and a little bit of support information. Now the case itself from the outside is pretty minimalistic. And they call it the Carbide Series just by the way it looks, and it's supposed to be made of like the absolutely best materials you can get. And for those things, I think it works out very well. You guys can see the window on the left-hand side makes it very easy to show off all your parts in your build so people can go by and go, hey, that shit looks badass. If you're wondering, will my motherboard fit inside the 270R? Well, it supports ATX, micro ATX, and mini ATX all the way up to 272 millimeters. The 270R sizes in at 509 by 210 by 460 millimeters. The biggest video card you can stick inside the 270R is 370 millimeters, so that's quite long. So you should be able to fit pretty much any video card that's out right now with no problem. The maximum CPU cooler, now this is the height between your motherboard and the glass, that's 170 millimeters, so you should have no problem there with any water coolers, or pretty much any of the air coolers that are out there. I don't think any are really gonna be that high. There might be some, but not many. As far as what power supplies will fit inside, you can fit any power supply up to 225 millimeters. Internally, there are 7 expansion slots, 2 3.5-inch hard drive bays, 2 2.5-inch hard drive bays, and as far as the cooling layout goes, the 270R is made to have maximum airflow going through the system. That means when the air is being pulled through the front, it's being maximized with that airflow going all through the system and blown out the back. Now, when you first buy the system, it comes with a 120 millimeter red LED fan, which is pretty cool, but you can also put 320 millimeter fans or 240 millimeter fans in the front if you want. Now on the top, you can also fit 220 millimeter or 240 millimeter fans, and on the rear, you can stick a single 120 millimeter fan, which is also included. Nowadays, I think that most PC enthusiasts like liquid cooling, and since you can get an AIO for dirt cheap and they're easy to install, a lot of people use them. You can either use single, dual, or triple rads. Now, on the very front of the 270R, you can fit up to a 360 millimeter rad. Now, on the top and the front, you can also fit a 240 millimeter rad, or on the very rear, you can fit a single 120 millimeter rad. Or you can pretty much anywhere you want in the system fit a 120 millimeter rad, which is pretty cool. And last but not least, the front I/O panel includes 2 USB 3.0 ports, a headphone and microphone jack, power on, and the reset button. So that's the case in its specs, but I want to talk about a few other things. A lot of cases that you buy out there, when you put your hands inside of them and stuff, you can cut your hands up. It's just nasty stuff. Everything inside of the Corsair Carbide 270R is completely smooth. You can run your hands around all the edges, work inside of there, and it's really nice. It's also very well made for cable management, much easier than that whole glass case we did. Gotta say that. And as far as putting in any of our radiators or anything, or putting the I/O systems, we had absolutely no problem with that at all. And when we did the 570X, you guys saw we had a little bit of difficulty with our 3.5-inch hard drive, but with this system, we had no problem whatsoever, and it mounted perfectly. So my take, for under $100, the 270R is a badass case, has a lot of features, but now let's get to what you guys really like to see. Let's check out the build. Since we still had some parts lying around from AMD, we decided for the last build of the year, we'd stick to an AMD base build. So for the motherboard, we use the ASRock Fatality 990FX Killer motherboard. This motherboard has a lot of features, great overclocking, and just looks great inside the case. For the CPU, we went the AMD 4GHz FX8370 Octa-core desktop processor with the Wraith cooler, although we didn't use the Wraith cooler, we used our own, as you'll see in a second. Keeping it red, we chose the Kingston HyperX Fury set. Now this is a 16GB kit of DDR3 running at 1866 MHz. For our boot drive, we wanted to have something fast, so we got one from Intel. Now this is a 730 series SSD. This thing's very, very fast. It's 240GB, and hell, I just like the skull. Don't you? As far as storage goes, I figured, hell, we've got it around here, so let's use it. We used a Seagate Constellation. This is a 2TB, 7200 RPM drive. I think it's perfect. You can store a lot of damn games on a 2TB hard drive. Unleash the Kraken! That's right, once again we use the NZXT Kraken, this time the X61. And that is a 280mm all-in-one CPU liquid cooling system, which works really great and was able to fit inside this system without any modification or any problem at all. Now, real quick while we're on that though, I want to make a note to you folks. In the very beginning when we started filming all the B-roll, we actually had an X31, but for some reason we opened up the box was empty. So somebody was pretty damn shifty, you know, over at Fry's. For the power supply, we went with something once again from CoolerMaster. We used the V550. Now this is an 80+ gold modular power supply, has plenty of expansion options, and 550 is perfect for the build that we're looking at today. For the video card, we wanted to stick with AMD as much as possible for this one, so we went with the XFX RX 480. Now this is a really cool video card because it has the addition of doing the hard swap fans. If you guys missed our video, we'll have a link down below, but this is a really cool feature. You can change out the fans very easily. They just pop off the card, you pop on the color you want, and you move on with your build. This is really good, especially for people who are doing color-based theme builds. I mean, face it, you don't want to have to go out and modify everything. If you can just pull off a fan and make it all nice and snappy, I like it. This card came overclocked out of the box. It's pretty incredible, 1288 megahertz. I'm sure we could push it farther, but for today, we were just trying to get the build together to show you folks how nice everything looked inside of the 270R. Due to the holiday season really coming up upon us, we didn't get a chance to fully test and use this system, but if you guys want to see us run a test, name this system, and bring a video back showing you how it runs, please let me know by your comment down below and we'll be happy to do so. For now, we were just trying to show you the build. Alright tech fans, there you have it, our build inside the Corsair Carbide series 270R. I think it looks pretty cool, and I just want to state for the record that we weren't trying to come to any kind of cost thing or anything like that. We just grabbed parts that we have that have been submitted for other builds and other reviews, and we put them all together and we brought this build to you. I think the price comes out just a little bit over $1,000, so I mean, if you want to do this build, you can. I know there's a lot of people out there go, I can build one for cheaper and do it. Go ahead, I don't care. It means nothing to me. I'm just making this case look awesome because it's a cool case. Like usual, if you guys want more details about this stuff, all you have to do is check down there below the like button. Hopefully you guys will Chuck Norris the hell out of that shit, and we'll move on with our day. We're going to bring you more videos, a few more for the holiday season before we take our vacation, so stick around because there's more to come. And if you don't know, every day until Christmas we're giving killer shit away. We'll have the link down below that as well.